Scroll and Sword, welcome back. Congratulations. We are starting and we're going to finish in one fell swoop the book of Philippians. We're going to look at today Philippians chapter 1, verses 12 through 14. Philippians, it's a letter that Paul wrote to a church that we deeply loved when he was actually in prison, and the letter is full of joy. Not shallow joy, though. It was like joy. It was painful joy under pressure, conflict. Even there's hints of uncertainty in the book of Philippians. And Paul shows us that the gospel, it's not chained just because the messenger is, which I think is beautiful. And that should be an encouraging word for you today. If you feel like you're chained down or held down by any kind of weight today, if you feel like doors will not open, that's not the gospel. Paul said his imprisonment actually served to advance the gospel. You know, Paul does not need to pretend that prison is easy, but he refuses to call it wasted because Christ is being made known through the chains. Christ is being made known through your pain. Christ is being made known through your suffering, and the gospel is advancing, and the word advance carries the idea of progress forward, like declaring a path through obstacles for an army or for an expedition. And what looked like restriction is now resurrection and revelation, because even the palace guard started hearing about Jesus. You know, you can't box the gospel in at all. I remember in 2020 when the world got hit with the COVID-19 pandemic, and it was crazy, and churches were having to shut down, and we had to close up shop for a little bit. And at this time, we're just a humble country church in Seymour, Missouri, and we had quite a bit of people coming to church, but we had to shut down. We couldn't meet together, and like, what are we going to do? We got to do something. And I'm talking to Pastor Mark. I'm like, we had already been live streaming a little bit online, fairly low quality, just because we're just getting our foot through the door. And so we started, we leaned in while we were unable to meet in person. We leaned into the quality of our online services. But it wasn't just us. It was almost every church on planet Earth figured out how to live stream. And statistically speaking, more people during the COVID-19 pandemic saw church services online than they did in person before COVID. It busted out the walls. It opened. It jumped out the windows into screens of millions of people across the world. God, He can turn isolation and confinement into gospel movement. So look for the mission opportunity inside the thing you didn't choose. Don't assume a hard season means God has stopped using you, and trust that the gospel can move forward even if your life feels stuck in a prison cell. Your chains may limit your movement, but they cannot limit God's message. So take that message forth, no matter what season or valley you might find yourself in. Love y'all. See you in the discussion room.